This is a Faceless channel we run in the AI2 space, and last month declared 4K off a $9 RPM. And this is the student's true crime channel sitting at around $11 RPM that did 6K last month from videos we uploaded over a year ago. Now, both of these take about the same amount of work as a gaming channel and put in the same view count for 400 quid. The only thing separating them is which model got picked on day one. So over the next 9 minutes, I'm going to show you every Faceless model that's working right now, what each one actually pays, and the one I would not touch with someone else's money. Because the expensive way to find this out is to pick around, do everything else right for a year, and get paid a tenth of what the person next to you is getting. But before any of that, we need to deal with the thing that has stopped half of you from starting, which is the ban wave. Around July last year, a lot of Faceless channels got demonetized and terminated inside the same few-month window. And the story that went around was that AI channels are getting banned and Faceless is finished. If you believe that story, you have now spent a year not starting, and that is the single most extensive thing on this list. So let me show you what actually happened, because I do think this is worth 90 seconds of your time. On the 15th of July 2025, YouTube renamed a policy. It went from repetitious content to inauthentic content. And if you come into the monetization policy help page, you can scroll down and read the update yourself. YouTube called it a minor update to clarify that the policy covers mass-produced content. And the reuse content policy, which is the one that actually covers clips, compilations, and commentary, did not change at all. So the rule stayed where it was, the name moved, and the enforcement got a lot harder. And the channels that went down had one thing in common: templates, mass-produced at scale with no human decision anywhere in the process. YouTube does say it welcomes creators using AI tools, and channels using AI do stay eligible for monetization as long as there's a group creative input in there and you disclose anything realistic enough to be mistaken for a real person or a real event. So the test was never AI or no AI, it is whether a person made a decision. So every model I'm about to show you sits on the right side of that line, and I'll tell you exactly where the line is on each one. So there's one number that decides what you get paid, and almost nobody checks it before they pick a niche. Get this wrong and you can upload for 12 months, hit every view target you set yourself, and still be earning less than someone doing a fifth of your numbers. And that number is your RPM, and it is what you actually earn per 1,000 views. So let me put some real figures against that, because the gap is bigger than people think. At $17 RPM, 100,000 views pays you around 1.7K USD. Gaming sits at around a $30 RPM. So to make that same $1,700, you would need around 570K views. And a lot of entertainment content lands near a $2 RPM, which puts you at 850,000 views for the same money. So 1,700 quid, same year of your life, 8.5 times the views. That is the whole reason this video exists. So when I go through these models, the RPM is the number to watch and everything else is detail. Model 1, and this one is already all over your feed, and it is the one most people tab because it looks like the least work. It is also the one where the window is closing fastest. So if this is the model you are leaning towards, this next bit matters more to you than anyone else watching. An AI-generated face delivering news or commentary with a voice that is now close enough to human that nobody in the comments mentions it anymore. The RPM sits around $5 to $12 per 1,000 views, and the tech and AI in these angles sits at the top of that range. I know that because we run one of these ourselves in the AI tool space. Ours is at a $9 RPM, and it cleared around 4K last month off that one channel. So these are not numbers I've read somewhere. But the production is not the free ride people expect. You do need proper prompting, and you do need a real edited layer on top. And the generic AI news dumps are the ones getting nothing. What's actually working is a narrow avatar in an angle nobody else is covering, running roughly a 70 to 30% split. So that means 70% evergreen, 30% reacting to whatever is trending that week. The evergreen half pays you in a year, and the reactive half is what gets you paid now. Model number 2. And this is true crime. If Model 1 worries you because of how fast it is filling up and getting saturated, this is the one I would point you at instead. And it is the fastest on this list to monetize, which matters because most people quit before monetization, not after it. The RPM runs between $8 to $13, so it is not the top of this list, but the watch time is the best of anything here because people binge these in series and they come back for the next one. So we've got a student, Noah, who is true crime shaman, sits at around $11 RPM and did 6K last month. And most of that came from videos uploaded over a year ago. And that wait is the whole reason we built Head Start channels, because the drop-off happens right at the front end before anybody has edited a single video. You take a niche, you have no way of checking, you upload to nobody for 12 weeks, and you find out in month 4 that the model was wrong the entire time. So we do that front end for you. You get a channel that already has a trust code behind it, which means you're not starting from a cold account that YouTube is treating as spam. We picked a niche of the same RPM numbers have been showing you, so the one decision that says what you get paid is not left to a guess. Their video ideas come with it, so you're not sat in front of a black document every Sunday walking out what to make. And then we'd help you hire the talent to actually make them. And that talent does cost far less than almost everybody watching this assumes. The last part is what turns this into a business instead of another job you've given yourself. Slasher did exactly that a few months ago, and it's sitting at over 2.2K a month now without touching a single edit. It is a head start though, that is all it is. You still have to run the thing. Certain applications, if you want one, the link is below. Anyway, back to true crime, because there are two things that will sink you here. The production itself is simple. Stock footage, map animations, timeline graphics, and one very good voiceover. The research is where the work actually is, because you have to find the cases, build the narrative, and hold somebody for 20 to 40 minutes. And the second one is what you pick. Mystery and cold cases are delaying. Graphic, violent crime gets you brand safety problems because advertisers are going to pull back from anything sitting next to gore. And your ad placement gets restricted before you have even walked out while your RPM dropped. So you want to stay in investigative storytelling, and you can be monetized in 3 or 4 months, which is the fastest number on this list. And the case pipeline never runs out. So as long as you actually enjoy the research, you will never run out of video ideas. Model number 3, educational and finance. This is where the money is, and it's the one beginners skip because it looks like the hardest one on the list. It's worth pushing through that because the gap between this and where you're probably about to start is the difference between a hobby and a wage. Stock footage, stickman animations, or screen recordings, explaining something people are already searching for. The RPM runs $20 to $45 depending on your subniche. Credit card comparisons sit right on top of that list. And we got tax strategy, and this spikes past $35 in the first quarter of every year. And if you time your uploads to that, you're earning double for the same work. Even broad personal finance with no clever angle at all still sits at around $12 to $22 RPMs. Go back to the numbers from earlier, $1,700 from 100,000 views on this model. The gaming channel meets 570K views for the same money, and entertainment channel meets 850K views. So it is harder. It is about 4 times harder for every view you get.